Alrighty, guys. What's going on, everybody? Welcome back here to another live stream, my friends. Hope everyone is doing good. We had a little bit of technical problems here trying to start today's stream. I don't know what was going on. It decided it was kind of going to mess up or whatnot. But what's up, everybody? Hope everyone's doing good. Glad to have y'all here for another update. Let's see who we got here today. We have Braven, Lake Effect, Crystal, Azen, Peachy, Tabletop, LWX, Tom, Brandon. What's up, guys? Tabletop, dude, thanks, man, for the $2. I appreciate your support. Appreciate it. Saying, should Wilmington, North Carolina expect severe weather or worry about severe weather? Tabletop, man, you're good. Yeah, nothing really going on for your guy or for you guys out there. But with that being said, we do have a bit of a threat. Hold on 1 second, you guys. I do need to change up something here. Let me bring this back here real quick. My whole program's been kind of goofing up here a little bit. I don't know what's going on with it. We are going to go ahead and here you guys are going to notice something weird getting ready to happen on this screen here. Ignore this for a second because I do need to fix something real quick before we dive on into it. Let's see here. I don't know what was going on with everything today. It's just been kind of acting up here. Anyways, all right, you know what? It's fine. We're just gonna have to roll with. We're just gonna have to roll with it here. Actually, let me test something here real quickly. There we go. Okay, now we're working. Anyways, what's up, guys? Hope everyone's doing good. Sorry about that. Yeah, like I said, I've been kind of running into some technical problems here. For the stream today. I don't know what's going on. YouTube's just kind of being a little iffy. Plus, my program's not really wanting to work too well either, so just kind of a mixture of everything. But anyways, folks, let's see here. We got Drew, we have Jaden, we have Shadow, Lake Effect. What's up, guys? Hope you're doing good. So we have a bit of a threat for severe weather today and tomorrow. So for today, we're going to go ahead and talk about today's risk. So this is today's risk. We have a shot for some thunderstorms across the light green area here today. Areas out by Florida, we could see some storms. Actually, we are seeing a little bit of thunderstorm activity out here. Got a little bit of westerly winds. Winds moving from the east, moving to the west here. A bit of storms kicking off across Florida. And the areas here kind of in this light green shade here is under the threat for the possibility here of some thunderstorms. Okay, so keep that in mind. A couple thunderstorms will be possible out in these regions here. Now, the area we really do need to be paying attention to, or the area where that risk is going to be like southeastern Oklahoma, northeastern Texas, really far northeast Texas, out there. Kind of towards like the Texarkana region, out there here towards Clarksville, Paris. A couple severe storms will be possible out there. Now we do have that risk going through Arkansas, portions of like northern Mississippi, out here towards like the western side of Tennessee overall. So a little bit of severe weather is possible here for today. We do have ourselves a 2% chance for tornadoes, so we are seeing the possibility for some tornadoes tonight out here in Arkansas, northern Mississippi, and a little bit of western Tennessee. A possibility for a couple tornadoes tonight. So make sure that you guys are weather aware, that you guys are watching that closely. I am going to, let's see, we're going to change this up a little bit. We're going to get this, actually, you know what? We're going to pull up the future radar here in a minute once we go through the risk areas here. So not only today are we going to be dealing with this, this will also be kind of a concern here for tomorrow as well. So overall, tomorrow we are going to be seeing that that risk as well for severe weather, possible tornadic activity as well, and everything going on. So so these areas here today in this green, this is where a couple of tornadoes are possible today. So we do have areas in Arkansas, once again, Mississippi, Tennessee. In terms of hail, we do have a shot for some hail too. Nothing really crazy on the hail, just a little bit of hail instances of some large hail, potentially like quarter size, maybe a little bit larger, could be possible. 5% chance across the regions here. Then lastly, we do have that wind threat, which is going to be kind of the main concern for today, in terms of damaging wind gusts and everything. We will be seeing that possibility out there for some damaging wind gusts, capable of producing some winds up to, possibly right around like 60 miles an hour, maybe a little bit stronger in kind of the worst case scenario. Remember, these are wind gusts. Basically, what the winds could peak up to could be over 60 miles an hour. So keep an eye out there for that. Across the areas here in Brown, once again, areas towards northeast Texas, near the Texarkana region, southeastern Oklahoma, towards the Idabel and Antlers region. A couple severe storms possible out there. The main threat's going to be through like central Arkansas, going into western Tennessee, and a little bit of northern Mississippi here in that risk overall for that. And then, of course, like I mentioned in the tornado threat, we do have ourselves that 2% chance out there. So then we work our way into tomorrow. Now, tomorrow, the risk will shift a little bit to the east. We will be seeing the shot for some more severe weather here for tomorrow across mostly just specifically Tennessee. Here for including the central and kind of the eastern sides there, that is a possibility. So we are going to have to look out there for tomorrow too, as there will be that possibility for, some more severe weather. And unfortunately, that does include another 2% chance for tornadoes out here towards like the western side of Tennessee. Will be possible. Nashville for tornadoes is in that risk tomorrow. And Memphis is in that 2% chance for tornadoes for tonight. So there is the possibility here for tonight of getting a couple isolated tornadoes throughout the areas here in the green. It is a relatively low threat for tornadoes, but it is a threat, and it is something that we do need to look out for. So we'll certainly keep you guys updated on that. We might do some coverage this evening. I'm thinking about it. We'll see how everything plays out. Honestly, if it starts playing out where we get a lot of tornado warnings and stuff like that, if things start really going interesting, or if things start get pretty bad, then we'll go live for you guys. But if things stay calm and relatively isolated, then we will probably just hold off from that. But we might go live today for some coverage, okay? So we'll keep you guys posted on that. So the next thing I do want to talk about here is the timing. So what's going on regarding the timing with all these storms and everything like that. That is something I do want to talk about here. So this is the HRRR. This is the latest model we have from the HRRR. And, we work our way down in time, and you can see late, as we approach our way kind of in the, the later evening today into tomorrow morning, we kind of get this line of storms that develops. Now, throughout today, including right now, as we did see on the radar, you can see in the bottom left corner how we do have a little bit of showers and a little bit of storms out here in central Arkansas. So that's going to be pretty persistent for the next couple of hours, and you can see, once we really start working our way here towards the evening of today, that thunderstorm activity will likely start to, pick up a little bit of activity. And then, of course, as we approach our way here in towards, this is right around 3 a.m. Eastern or 2 a.m. Central Time. We could get this kind of line of storms developing here. Some storms being up there in Texas, Oklahoma, Arkansas, and that's where the severity kind of starts. Will be for later this evening going into tomorrow morning. Now, the unfortunate thing is that we are going to be kind of in a nocturnal threat, meaning that the activity here regarding severe weather will be at night, which does make it a little bit more difficult to be able to see, okay? So definitely keep that in mind. Do not wait to see or hear any severe weather going on, like tornadoes and stuff. Do not wait to see or hear it. You gotta seek shelter if that warning gets issued. So like I said, it's going to be a little bit difficult being able to see the action tonight, okay, because it's going to be at nighttime and everything like that. Let's see here. What about Liberty, Mississippi? All right, we're not going to get into zip codes quite yet, but we'll get into those here in a little bit, okay? What's up, Brandy? Hope we're doing good. Let's see. What's up, Johnson? Welcome. So yeah, and like I mentioned, this threat will continue on into tomorrow as well. Basically tomorrow morning. So this is going to be a late event from late tonight, going through tomorrow here. This is the NAM 3K. You guys can see. And we approach our way into the morning here for tomorrow, and at this time, the model. Here, kind of like what the HRRR was saying, does show that line of storms rolling through. We have like, that line going through Lake Texas, northern Texas here, southeastern Oklahoma, cutting through areas like central Arkansas, and whatnot, in which that will continue to push its way to the east. Driving even more storms tomorrow. Out there towards like Tennessee, and that cold front even working its way through the deep south towards like Louisiana, Mississippi, and whatnot. We will be seeing some storms out there possibly tomorrow as well. Although for those regions, in this vicinity of Louisiana, Mississippi, we will probably not. We're not going to really be seeing much of severe thunderstorm activity out there. It'll be kind of more towards like the chance for a few booms of thunder, but nothing necessarily significant or anything like that, or nothing severe for those areas down in like Louisiana. So that's good. So yeah, the main concern here, like I mentioned, here's today's severe weather risk. So areas here in the dark green is at risk for some severe weather tonight, going into tomorrow morning. Once again, this is going to be a nighttime event. It's going to be relatively late, in which once again we might go live for. We'll have to see how that goes. If everything, like I mentioned, starts really kicking off, then we will do our best to go live for you guys to do some coverage, and it is a possibility. So, but yeah, that threat goes all the way from northeast Texas, including areas near Texarkana, southeast Oklahoma, towards like the Idabel, Hugo, and see here. Some of those regions out by Smithville, whatever. Not saying those areas will specifically get severe weather, but you guys are in the risk area for your state in southeastern Oklahoma. And then, of course, like I mentioned, a lot of the bulk of the threat really does go through, let's see here, the main bulk of the threat really does go through like central Arkansas and like northern Mississippi. Just a little sliver of northern Mississippi, could see a couple of isolated severe storms out there, and like western Tennessee overall. Let's see here. What's up, William? Hope you're doing good. What's up, Scott? Welcome. Matthew says, do I think a slight risk could be added, come out last minute? So honestly, I don't really think so. I think we're going to probably stay at marginal. I believe that's kind of where we're going to be standing. I don't think we're going to get a slight. I mean, although that's up to SPC. What I do want to do, though, is I want to bring you guys over here to the models on this page. I want to kind of dive more into the depths of what's going on here. So we're just going to play this in motion. And so you can actually see right here, we have all this instability, all of this thunderstorm juice down here in the Gulf. And, it's really moved its way up into the southern plains and the southeast. So all that moisture, all that advecting instability, really built its way into the region here. Now you can see that cooler air coming down from up north. That's where your cold front's at. So your cold front's right here. So there's a decent amount of instability on this system here. It's for this time of the year, it's certainly doable. So the fuel for these storms is, it's not half bad. It's enough to get things going. So we do have the fuel for these storms overall here. I want to pull up the NAM here. We're going to see what the NAM has to say. So yeah, there is actually some localized amounts of instability over 1,000 joules per kilogram, which anything 1,000 plus is pretty solid. Amounts of instability. But once again, this time of the year instability is a little bit lower. And so some of these events here can perform fairly well with low amounts of instability, in which, yeah, we're talking over 500 joules per kilogram, mostly above that. So that'll be enough supplying instability for these storms here. And you kind of notice how it's like this flat line. So this is where your cold front's at, that cold air from up north pushing down to the southeast while the warm air rises here. Our lower level winds here, you can kind of see how our lower level winds do increase. We do have some decent lower level jet stream activity here with this system. As you can see that the jet does increase here in strength across like northeast Texas, areas out there by like Arkansas and like Tennessee here, basically for tomorrow morning. So the jet stream, the amount of wind shear we have in the atmosphere is decent. I mean, from what it looks like, it is a pretty decent setup potential out there. I mean, the moisture here too. I mean, we're talking dew points in the 60s. Good supply of moisture to these storms here. So the moisture's there. The instability's there, as well as the wind shear. I mean, honestly, it's really not a half bad looking system. I mean, it's honestly relatively decent looking. So I really do think we're going to definitely need to be watching tonight across those regions here. Once again, these are the areas affected tonight. The areas here in the green, this is the risk for severe weather tonight out there. So in the dark green, this is where that risk is. The light green, like I mentioned, is just a chance for some thunderstorms, nothing severe. But the dark green, that's where the severity begins. That's where we do have the potential for some severe storms. So that it does include, once again, northeast Texas, areas of southeast Oklahoma, cutting straight through central Arkansas, going into a little bit of northern Mississippi, as well as like western Tennessee. That's kind of where that threat is. Let's see here. Ancient said, will Dallas be hit hard? No. So Dallas is not really in the threat for today. Although it is possible we could get some storms. We are not expecting any, we were actually not expecting any severe weather for Dallas. Basically where that severe threat starts will be just slightly northeast of Dallas. Now, I'm not saying that all severe weather would 100% contain itself in that marginal. Dallas, while we could get some storms, we're not expecting severe weather. But since there's since there is some instability, and honestly, since the lower level jet is still pretty decent out there, and since we do have the wind shear as well over Dallas, keep an eye on the radar. Just keep a close eye on it. While Dallas is not expected to get severe weather, you never know. Some of these events could produce severe weather outside of the risk area. Okay, so just keep an eye on it. It is possible. But the main bulk of the storms and the severe weather and stuff like that will be throughout the areas here in the dark green. That's where the severe weather is expected. The light green here, like I mentioned, this is where the thunderstorms are also possible, although not severe. Okay. So that's that. And then, like I mentioned, tomorrow we do have that continuation of the severe weather working its way out there into areas of basically just cutting through most of the state of Tennessee here overall. Let's see here. Stefan says this weather's been nuts. I mean, severe weather-wise, it hasn't been super crazy. Severe thunderstorms and stuff. It hasn't been super crazy. However, I mean, like the cold and the snow, the lake effect snow especially, yeah, that's been pretty crazy. But we're seeing a little bit of severe weather now. Let's see here. Will Moscow, Tennessee be hit? So yeah, most of Tennessee here, as you can see, is in the risk here for severe weather tomorrow. Now today, like I said, late tonight, honestly, a lot of Tennessee is going to be feeling this tomorrow morning. So we do have that marginal, that level 1 threat for western Tennessee. You can see for tomorrow's outlook, this does include basically a good majority of Tennessee in general. And, really anybody in Tennessee should keep an eye on it because, even then, there is a possibility that, some severe activity, once again, is not 100% guaranteed to remain inside of the risk area. It certainly is a possibility that, we could get some, isolated, potentially very isolated severe thunderstorms to occur slightly outside of the dark green. So, if you're across Tennessee, it wouldn't hurt to, keep an eye on the weather between tonight and tomorrow morning, basically. That's where the main threat is. So definitely would keep an eye on it. Like I mentioned, it's not just Tennessee that's got to really look out for this too. It's once again Arkansas, pretty good amount of Arkansas, and currently on the radar, as you guys can currently see, we're gonna bring up this radar here. We'll bring up this program. We're gonna load up those storms out here towards Arkansas. So currently on the radar right now, we do have a little bit of storm activity, nothing severe going on quite yet. As of now, there's no active warnings or anything like that going on right now. So that's good, but like I mentioned, a lot of the stuff will start to pick up later on. We do have a little bit of rain, a little bit of storms, popping off here and there across Arkansas. That will be pretty persistent for the next several hours. Across Arkansas, as we're going to see maybe a bunch of scattered storms. Nothing really severe, but then later tonight, when that line kind of comes through, that's when the main threat's going to be. Let's see here. Do I think that Reed was right about this year going into next could be the next 2011. I don't know, dude. I mean, I'm not really as much into climatology as I focus mostly on like meteorology, like what's happening in the near future. That's. I mean, I do like. I mean, I like climatology, but I don't really dive as much into it as some of these other people do. But we'll have to see. I mean, right now I'm just mostly focused on the winter time and what's happening right now. I'm not even thinking about severe weather yet for next season. I mean, we're not even in winter yet. So, maybe towards the end of the winter, then that's when I'll start really looking into it. But for now, yeah, just kind of focusing on the current issues. Let's see here. But anyways. So yeah, not a lot going on right now, which is good news. But later on tonight, it seems like here. Let's go and bring up the HRRR again. We're gonna pull up the latest 21 Zulu HRRR that's came out here. But we're gonna pull up the 21 Zulu HRRR here. So once again, just a bunch of scattered storms going on here for the next little bit. But then as we approach our way into roughly right around like 8 or 9 o'clock or so, Central Time overall. That's when storms, according to this model, could really start to pick up here. You can see that those storms really start to get going across areas here in like Arkansas and like southeastern Oklahoma. Some of those even working its way into like northeast Texas potentially. And then of course over the next several hours as we approach our way right around midnight or so. That's when this model suggests all of that kind of isolated storm activity kind of turns more into that line of storms there. So yeah, and then of course, like I mentioned, for the people who for the people who just joined here, like we mentioned, this threat here is mostly going to be taking place overnight. For tonight, later this evening, into tomorrow morning. So. Like I said, the unfortunate thing about that is the fact that it's going to be a nighttime threat, a little bit of a nocturnal threat. Anyways, so yeah, breaking it down a little bit here. This is the NAM model here overall. You can see the lower level winds are fairly strong. A good 30, 40 miles an hour. A decent lower level jet stream. So basically, we're measuring the winds here at the lower atmosphere, which is very important for severe weather. And tornadoes and stuff like that. So as we approach our way into late tonight, early tomorrow morning, we do have a decent lower level jet. So the winds across the lower atmosphere are moving pretty quickly. So that'll get those storms organizing and stuff like that across Arkansas, towards like Oklahoma, Texas, and whatnot. So we do have decent wind shear here. Our mid-level winds as well, a little bit stronger to the north. But wind shear in general, our winds throughout the atmosphere is decent. It's not anything excessive per se, but it's a decent setup here. And then of course, like I mentioned, with the instability and everything like that for tonight, going into tomorrow, honestly, we do have a fair amount of instability. A fair amount of unstable air. The NAM suggests anywhere from 1,000 to 1,500 joules per kilogram. You can have severe weather under 1,000. For this time of the year, average is a good 500 to 1,000 joules per kilogram on an average event like this for this time of the year. But bottom line is, yes, you can get severe weather off of the amount of instability that we do have here. So the instability, it's good enough. It should get the trick done. And of course, our dew points here are lower level moisture. We are seeing those dew points here in the 60s, which in the 60s it's a pretty solid amount of moisture here. So you're gonna definitely notice it's gonna be a little bit warmer in the south here. You're gonna notice it maybe a little bit muggy. But so the moisture's there. Obviously a little bit warmer and stuff like that. So. Yeah, that should supply the storms a decent amount with a bit of moisture. So, everything in line here. We got the instability, the wind shear, the moisture. Everything's in line. It does look like it is, a go for potential severe weather here. So, definitely want you guys to be weather aware out there. But anyways, folks, well, I guess we're going to go ahead and do some zip codes. I know a lot of you guys are anxious for that. We're going to go ahead and do that for y'all. So if you don't know how this works, I'm sure somebody will throw a zip code down here shortly. So basically the way this works is that you guys, let's see here. You guys throw your zip code in the chat, and I will take your zip code and we'll put it in this program, and I will let you know if you are at risk for severe weather today. Okay, so that's how that's going to work. So like I mentioned here on my map here, the area in the light green, this is where we have, a general thunderstorm threat, chance for a few booms of thunder. Like I mentioned, the dark green, this is where the severe weather is. This is where the potential for severe weather is overall. So that's that. All right, Brandon, let's see here, 42025. So like I said, for the people who don't know how this works, just grab Brandon's zip code. It takes me to his general area, in which you are not actively under a severe weather threat, although there is a possibility for a few thunderstorms today. And, like we mentioned, overall for this event, it's going to be a late event happening later this evening, going into early tomorrow. You can just see, a bunch of storms will be possible throughout overnight, but nothing severe for you. All right, Steven, 42633, gotcha. Let's see, 42633 across Kentucky. All right, let's see. So yeah, same for you. You're not actively in that severe weather threat here for today, or any time in the next a couple of days. We're not under the risk for any severe weather. However, there is a possibility for some thunderstorms. You are in that generalized thunderstorm risk. Throughout the night, there is going to be that possibility for, a couple booms of thunder. So look out for that. Severe weather, not expected for you, but, there could be some storms nearby. So don't be surprised if you do hear some thunder and stuff like that, because, it's possible. There's going to be that potential. There is the instability and everything like that overhead. So, it could certainly have some thunderstorms, but, once again, nothing crazy for you today. And according to HRR, you guys can see here, as we approach our way into early tomorrow morning, this is like right around 5 a.m. Central Time, 6 o'clock Eastern, HRR kind of shows a pretty nasty line of storms developing out there and kind of rolling over the Memphis area. I mean, look at that. So, yeah, HRR definitely goes a little bit heavy there. Kind of a little bit of a Boeing storm here. This is for the morning tomorrow. Tomorrow morning, right around 6 a.m. Central, 7 Eastern. So, that's that. Let's see. Steven says, thanks. No problem. Very welcome. You're welcome, Brandon. No problem, man. But anyways, so yeah, we'll have to see if that verifies. But it certainly, an event like that would likely produce some gusty winds. And I mean, that's kind of one of the main threats is going to be the potential for some damaging winds and stuff like that. Which damaging wind gusts we could be talking potentially up to, right around like 60 miles an hour or so. 60, maybe locally a little bit higher in terms of wind gusts and stuff like that could be quite possible. So we'll definitely be watching it. And once again, I think I will. I'm thinking about going live tonight for it. Like I mentioned, if things really start getting crazy tonight, and if it's going to need coverage, we'll go live for you guys. I just want to make sure that we're there to help you guys with coverage. But like I mentioned, if it turns out to be nothing where it doesn't really do much, then basically we'll just probably just not go live. But if it does get a little interesting, if it does get crazy, then we will. What's up, David? Hope you're doing good. But anyway, so that's that overall. And so like I mentioned, we do have a little bit of a threat for severe weather here for, like I said, for today. This risk will go into tomorrow as well, like I mentioned, for areas out there in, in Tennessee. So, areas including Nashville potentially tomorrow morning will be at risk out there for some severe weather. In which, if we go ahead and bring our way over here back to the outlook. So tomorrow we do have that 2% chance too for a couple of tornadoes out there. But anyways, folks, well, once again, if you guys have any zip codes that you want me to take a look at, once again, if there's a specific area you want me to take a look and make sure that you guys know if you're in the risk or not, feel free to throw it down in the chat. Otherwise, we are probably going to call it a pretty short stream today. Like I said, I'm going to be on standby today as we kind of wait for a little bit of potential severe weather going on today. So I'm going to take a final call. If you guys have any zip codes before we roll off here, let us know. Also, I'm going to have the automated radar going on again. We're going to get that up as soon as this live stream ends. We're going to put up our radar that we had going. I don't know if any of you guys saw that. Basically where we just let our radar run. You guys can see all the programs and stuff like that, so you guys can kind of see what's going on with everything. So, but anyways, once again, everybody, I appreciate y'all for joining. Like I said, just please be careful out there tonight. Once again, all hazards on the table, unfortunately. So just keep an eye out there as we do have a little bit of severe weather coming in. Once again, potentially a couple tornadoes, damaging wind gusts, upwards of 60+ mile an hour wind gusts, and a little bit of hail. Hail's not going to really be as much of a concern. Just a little bit of a threat for some of these areas in the brown, up to like quarter size, maybe slightly larger in terms of hail size. And then, of course, the wind threat does go from western Tennessee through like southeast Oklahoma, northeast Texas. So, anyways, all right, everybody. Well, that's gonna go ahead and wrap it up here. Once again, sorry for the quick little live stream, but like I mentioned, we're gonna be on standby today, so that's we're gonna be possibly going back live again later. I'm gonna see what we can do later on this evening. But if you guys haven't already, consider hitting that subscribe button, leaving a like. It'd be greatly appreciated. Once again, I appreciate y'all for joining us. You guys take care. Be careful out there. So the stream's going to head off here in approximately 1 minute. Like I mentioned, after this live stream, we're going to get that automated radar up going for you guys again. That way we can, have you guys, so you guys can see what's going on. So we'll make sure to bring up the automated radar for you guys. Alrighty, everybody. Well, once again, thanks for joining. You guys take care. Have a wonderful rest of your day. And once again, we'll be on standby mode. Turn on your notifications, guys. So before you roll off here, turn on your notifications, hit the bell icon, set that to all. That way, whenever we do go live, you do get notified, whatever we do. So that if we do end up re-going live again for the severe weather coverage and stuff like that, you'll have that there. But Zach, nothing for Louisiana, man. You're good. Maybe a few storms, though, but nothing severe. But all right, everybody. Thanks for joining. You guys take care, and we'll see you guys later on. Peace out, my friends. Catch y'all in the next one.